Hi, I'm Jack, and welcome to the Attract Capital webinar series. Today I'm here with Attract Capital CEO and founder, David Barnett.
Hi everybody.
Today our webinar title is Make or Break Term Sheet Factors for Mezzanine Debt. So Dave, what is a mezzanine debt term sheet for our viewers?
Sure, Jack. So really good question. A mezzanine debt term sheet is an outline of the lender's interest in the loan that they want to make to you. It usually contains pricing, principal repayment information, conditions to closing. It's usually 4 or 5 pages long. It can be shorter, it can be longer. It has legal language and it speaks about the process to get to a closing.
And what are the terms in that are the most problematic in the term sheet?
Well, I would say that it usually comes down to ambiguity in the pricing and also the non-pricing terms. So what do I mean by that? A lot of times a mezzanine lender will have a warrant and they may not define the basis under which they're going to value the warrant. So if you read it, you really don't know, are they saying that they're going to value the warrant on a multiple basis? Are they saying they're going to value the warrant on a fair market value basis? There's lots of different ways that you can value a warrant, and if that language is left out of a term sheet, it could really drastically change the pricing for a borrower. So I'd say that's one of them. The other thing is lack of disclosure or evasiveness around the conditions to closing. Sometimes lenders say, well, we need to do the financial due diligence and we may need to do other due diligence. And they kind of spring the other due diligence steps on you once they get started in the financial due diligence. So that's a big problem, because if you're going to select a lender, you want to know the path that you need to take to get to the closing, and it all should be spelled out in the term sheet. So a lot of times it's the steps or the process to get to the closing, as well as the ambiguity around the pricing.
And so for Attract Capital specifically, what are some of the factors that have broken deals that you've been involved with?
So luckily for us, we haven't had too many broken deals over the years, Jack, because we screen very heavily. And our clients, we vet the term sheets and we really dig into getting to the lender's thought process under the terms. But sometimes what we'll discover is that while the lender really likes the deal and they really like our client, they don't feel that the client is equipped to be able to run the business on a go-forward basis. So they want to bring in their own management team post-closing, which is a non-starter for our clients. Sometimes there's even an attempt at some consent rights or some off-market approval rights, which are presented in a vague way such that they could be interpreted as like backdoor approval rights, which could be very problematic for the borrower, because the borrower wants to know that the lender, everything that the lender needs to consent to or approve up front will be laid out in the term sheet. And sometimes there's even a principal repayment mechanism called a sweep. And the definition of the sweep can be a little spongy, such that you think you're not paying back a lot of principal during the term of the loan, but in fact, when it gets defined later on in the credit agreement stage, you might owe the lender $1 million or $2 million on an annual basis, which is a big change. So I'd say the management, some of the rights that are ambiguous, and also the sweep language.
Okay, and then how do you prevent that from happening?
So we've been doing this for 32 years, Jack, so we really know the questions to ask, and we know what responses the lenders should give when we ask those questions to understand, is this just sort of an innocent drafting mistake that they have? They haven't presented it in a comprehensive enough way in the letter, or are they really getting at something where they're going to try to pull a fast one? So we've worked with lots of different types of lenders from lots of different types of funds all over the country and all over the world. So we have that knowledge base as to how to really test them and how to engage with them in a constructive way to kind of ferret this out on the front end.
Well, there you have it. Thank you for tuning in, and we look forward to seeing you next time on the Attract Capital webinar series.
Thank you.